Well, good Wednesday morning to you. We made it to Hump Day. I am Dalia, along with Lindsay, Carlos, and Chuck, who is kind of I don't know if the bearer of bad news. If you don't, you're not a fan.
I always feel bad when
So what else is new?
Yes.
I feel bad when we say you made it halfway during the week when we're beginning the morning show.
Yeah.
Because really, it's halfway through our week, but the people who are watching,
Normal people,
they're like, dude, we still got 3 days
Well,
left.
you made it to the very, very, very beginning of the halfway point
Yeah,
throughout
exactly.
the week.
Yeah, so there you go. And it's going to be cold.
Yeah.
We all did the dance when we were walking in this morning. It's noticeably colder today than it is yesterday.
It is. You know, yesterday, and it felt weird yesterday. We had the rain and the drizzle and the, but we got up to 61, which is wonderful. Well, we won't get there for a long time, I'm afraid. And right now it's 24 degrees. I'll do the math for you. That is 30 degrees cooler than at this time yesterday. Crawfordsville is at 20 degrees this morning. So here's what we're looking at now for the next few days. The temperatures are going to stay basically the same. 34 is where we will be today. But this, Lindsay, you chime in if you want. This is not a good situation tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah, we built this map together earlier this morning, basically looking at where that breakdown's going to happen. And we really think here along the I-70 corridor, little north, little south, we could get very slippery conditions because temperatures are going to be kind of right there near freezing through this event tomorrow.
Yeah, and you know, up above our heads, it depends on what the temperature is. Like if it's colder, you folks up in Lafayette get 1 to 3 inches of snow and a little bit of ice, but boy, we could really get it. And throughout our newscast on the Today Show, you'll see the timing, but we'll get a little snow tonight, basically 8 o'clock to early in the morning. Won't amount to much in the metro, but then tomorrow afternoon, freezing rain and snow, and that will be throughout the evening rush hour, which, Lindsay, probably is not going to look good tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow, after I would get all those errands in today if you can, just to avoid travel tomorrow if possible.
Liz Bernstein says good morning. She's watching us. Also have Kelly saying, what a happy group in the morning. Thanks for the happiness day. Well, thank you, Kelly. That's a very nice thing you say. Now, the thing I love about Chuck is he's a big rock and roll fan.
Yes.
And you know Dave Grohl. Dave Grohl was the drummer for
The Foo Fighters.
Yeah, well, he's lead singer for lead singer for Foo Fighters, drummer for Nirvana.
And then formed the Foo Fighters and has had everybody and their brother play with him on that band, I think. Yeah.
Well, now look at them. So they're all set to star this new horror comedy, if there is such a thing, called Studio 666. It was filmed in the same house where they recorded their 10th album. Once in the house, Dave Grohl finds himself grappling with supernatural forces that threaten both the completion of the album and the lives of the band. I mean, their videos are pretty, cool. So there you go. Adrian Brody's in it. Got some great cameos. Got Lionel Richie doing a cameo. Kerry King of Slayer. He's also in it. So you can see it in theaters starting tomorrow. It's going to be interesting to see.
Horror comedy. Is that like the same genre as like Scary Movie? When
maybe.
Okay.
It's going to be in theaters tomorrow. It'll be on demand probably in a week.
Yeah, okay.
By the way, if you ever have just a spare moment, go to YouTube, type in Foo Fighters Drew Hester, who was part of that band for many, many years. Then he went on to Chicago. Now he's with Stevie Nicks. But he does a triangle solo. When he was there, every concert did a triangle solo. You know, the little triangle that you had when you were in grade school in music class?
With the solo, the one day.
Amazing musicianship.
Try that out.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so winter weather, that's what we're talking about. And they're sledding on go-karting.
They're doing it all.
On a frozen lake. Check this out, a go-karting track called Aspen Ice Karting.
Oh my
and
goodness.
It's all done on top of the frozen Kodiak Lake. The owners of the business say they've only got a few months to do this, of course, before that track melts and becomes a water skiing lake. Last year, more than 1,000 people raced across that frozen lake. And get it in while you can, while the weather's cold. That is slippery.
Yeah.
Slippery driving out there. Looks really fun.
I have an irrational fear of falling into a frozen lake.
I'm smelling a Chuck's Big Adventure there. But I know when you can get on ice. Like in the state of Indiana, never.
Okay.
Never. Indiana State Police came out with a statement about 3 years ago, and I thought it was good. If you walk on a frozen lake in any part of Indiana, you're in danger.
See, I see people all the time, like when it freezes, and they will like walk on the canal, and I'm like, I know that that's not very deep, but I saw a group of kids they were playing hockey out there, and I'm just cringing the whole time because I'm like, I know that that's not a lake.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be deep because once you go through the ice,
and
you lose
you
the
hit
hole.
your head.
Yeah, there
They're
we go.
very brave of them. But okay, so how much would it cost you to convince your child to stay off of social media, get this, for 6 years? Well, back in 2016, a mom promised her then 12-year-old son, Sievert, $1,800 if he stayed off social media until he was 18. And sure enough, just a few days ago, he claimed that prize. He says it wasn't too difficult since he wasn't using social media that much anyway. But the first app that he plans to download, is probably already downloaded it, was Instagram. And I wondered, that's probably the only way that you get somebody to not use social media for 6 years. That's a long time if they were never like introduced to it. Really.
Well, I get my parenting advice from Chuck, and so I want to. So, did you ever pay your kids to do anything? Or
My kids were grown up before that stuff was a big thing, and so I didn't have to deal with it. I've got a granddaughter now, but I do feel for parents. That is a tough road to navigate, and I think being, Mr. Tight-fisted, I would really limit the amount of time on that.
Yeah. And you got to, police it as well. We got a lot of people chiming in this morning. Deborah chiming in saying good morning. We got Susan Todd saying good morning. Just got back from Florida. Susan, sorry, the weather they're getting right now. And Chanel says, hey, stop teasing me with this nice warm weather. I had the windows open, the doors were open for days, and now I'm back to getting my heating bill.
It is February.
Yeah, there we go. And Tara says good morning, everyone, as well.
Well, good morning to you, Tara, as well. I did get out a little bit yesterday, even though it wasn't the nice weather to be going for a walk, but I knew kind of what was coming today. So I was like, all of a sudden, rain doesn't seem so bad, and it wasn't so bad getting out. Yeah.
And it was nice on the sidewalks. My wife had to go chase our dog Charlie, and she came in and she goes, it is so gross in the yard because it's all muddy. The mud's there. So
man, 61 degrees yesterday, and I'm looking south this weekend. IndyCar is going to kick off their season down in St. Pete on Sunday, 12:30 green flag. I'm super excited about that.
That's going to be great. Of course, we had NASCAR with Daytona last week, and so now IndyCar. And it just seems like yesterday the IndyCar season was over, but now we're starting back up again. So it's great. And St. Pete's the place you want to be, by the way.
All right, real quick. So we got coming up the next few days as far as the temperatures are going to be kind of steady the next few days.
Yeah, we're going to hang in the 30s. Our problem spot is going to be tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. We'll get a little light snow today, but watch us during the Today Show, and we'll explain that. We'll go hour by hour through this, and then Kelly will have more today on 13 News at noon.
I'm hanging on until next Tuesday when we'll get anything remotely close to it's kind of like warm weather. I can do it.
All right, hey, that's going to do it for this edition of Extra Shot of Sunrise. Don't forget, we are just 95 days, 3 hours, and 54 minutes away from the 106th running of the Indianapolis 500. Oh man, you know what? I just can't wait for the month of May.
Yeah.
I'll take 65 days, 3 hours, and 53 minutes until the month of May coming up here. But that is going to be a great month. And don't forget, you can watch the race right here on Channel 13. We'll see you tomorrow right here on 13 Sunrise.